Hello, everyone, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of Eli Roth's new horror film, Ice Cream Man. You know, you ever sat back and watched something or did something or was in a meeting at work or something to that degree, and you left that particular event and felt like those are an hour and a half, 2 hours that you'll never get back. You wasted an hour and a half of your life. You feel like you wronged yourself and your loved ones of time, quality time, because you had to participate in this whatever event that it was. Well, for me, it was Ice Cream Man. This was hands down one of the worst movies of 2026, if not ever. This movie is so bad. I don't understand how it got made. I honestly don't even know. And this is coming from somebody who dreamt their entire life of making movies. I don't know how somebody like Eli Roth continues to be handed a camera and told to go shoot a film. I don't get it. And look, I don't like knocking filmmakers, because they may come off as envious or jealous or things of that nature. It's not that. Trust me, I am far from jealous of Eli Roth. Eli Roth has not made a movie yet that I enjoyed. Not one. And I'm not talking about walking away like, oh, that could have been better. All of our favorite filmmakers have made a film or two that just didn't appeal to you. Spielberg has done it. Spielberg has made films that I just couldn't jam with. And I love Steven Spielberg. Christopher Nolan, who walked away from Tenet thinking that was a masterpiece from him. Now, it is growing in appreciation as time passed on, but yet and still, nobody walked away from that saying, oh man, Christopher Nolan was in his bag on that one. No, that's different. That's different. In this case, when it comes to Eli Roth, and I'm thinking back to the Hostel films, I'm thinking back to his Death Wish remake with Bruce Willis. I'm thinking to even the clock. What was it? The Clocks on the Wall, when he tried to make a children's film. It's like, what are you doing? And the less said about Borderlands, the better. But it's like, what are you doing here, man? What is this? The Ice Cream Man, I was about to say Candy Man, but I would never insult that movie like that. Ice Cream Man, it takes place in this suburban town, and it descends into madness after the children consume this cursed ice cream, and it turns them into homicidal maniacs. That's the movie. Now, going into it, like I said, I knew Eli Roth made this film. I wasn't tripping. I just thought maybe we'll get a throwback horror film from like the 80s, one of them silly horror movies with not too thick of a plot, just murder and mayhem. Sometimes you need that. The crazy little back when we had video stores back in the day, the one that was at the end of the aisle that you had to search for, that was hidden behind another VHS, and you're like, oh, I'll check this out, and it ended up being an entertaining movie. I thought it was going to be like a throwback to that. No, this movie was so bad. It was just an hour and a half gore fest. And look, I'm not a prude by no stretch of the imagination. I love my gore. I love horror. When it's used properly, when it's used to effective measures. And this ain't it. This was just gory for gory's sake, just to be dumb, just to be silly. And that's what it is. And we're talking with kids here. Once again, not a prude. I'm cool with the kids doing the murdering, but it's just the way that it drug on throughout the film in death scenes, and you're subjecting these kids to this. It was like it was offensive. It, and I've seen some offensive stuff in my time, and I actually, can make an argument for some movies that do stuff like that involves children because they're not immune from horror. They go through it in real life every day, and so I'm cool with that. I'm not tripping on that. The part I'm tripping on was just being gory for gory's sake, and that's Eli Roth's trademark. You know, he look, the man is a body horror Feliciano. You know, he just loves to do this gory, nasty stuff. And the stuff that is done in this film is so gratuitous. I had to turn away. And this is a person who sat there and watched Faces of Death back in the day. I'm talking the old Faces of Death movies that were you had to get in a black videotape case, you know, so nobody knew what you had. Those Faces of Death, would people were worried was that real murders in it. That was the whole rumor. I still don't know if it's true or not, but it looked that real. But I watched it. I was cool with it. Not here, man. This was just dumb. The plot was dumb, and the acting was so bad. And not because 90% of the cast is children, because you're going to get that with kids. I wasn't expecting kids to give us Leonardo DiCaprio style acting here, or Tom Holland level acting. I was just waiting for somebody to emerge to be like, okay, this is my shot. And there was one kid, and he was like the lead. He was the lead, and he really did the best he could do. I can see him being a real good actor down the line, you know, but unfortunately, he's going to have to find a way to wipe the stink of this movie off of his resume. This one was a head scratcher. What made it such a head scratcher? This movie actually came out in theaters. They actually released this in movie theaters for people to buy a ticket to go see. Why? There are streaming movies with better quality, more substance than this. 10 times more than this. What were they thinking? I don't get it. I honestly don't get whoever was behind releasing this. At the same time as Spider-Man Brand New Day, nonetheless, but really dumb. Really dumb. In the summer. Maybe you had a chance if it was in October, you know, closer to Halloween. Cool. You probably could have made your little money back, because I think it only cost $5 million, and I don't even know where that $5 million are in this movie. Where did they spend the $5? I guess on the blood. I guess $4 million of that budget went to the blood. That's the only thing I can think of. But other than that, this was a horrible film. I do not recommend this at all. This isn't even so bad as good. This is just bad. Ice Cream Man gets a letter grade of an F. Yeah, man. And I'm not even mad. That's the crazy part. I'm not even mad. No, when I see a bad movie, I get mad because I have some sense of expectation. I didn't have any going into this. I knew it was Eli Roth, and I knew it was just going to be a little low budget horror film anyway. So I wasn't expecting much. But I didn't expect not to get anything. I didn't get anything out this movie. You know what? I take that back. There was one scene. There was actually one scene, and it wasn't even the whole scene. It was a dialogue exchange between the priest and the kids as he was breaking down how to kill the ice cream man, and that was kind of funny. That one scene was actually good. That was well written and well acted. I actually like that scene. That's it. That's it for the movie. But it still gets an F. But anyway, I want to know, what are your thoughts of Ice Cream Man. Did you check it out? If you're one of the 10 people that saw this movie, or are you planning on checking it out? I would love to know your thoughts. You can subscribe to the kbradionetwork.com website, where you can be updated on and notified of all episodes dropping and previous episodes as well. Don't forget about YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this glowing review of Ice Cream Man. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.